Hello, everyone, and welcome to the VeryReasonablePilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles Long, and with me, as always, is my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, and gunner, Jacob Bloth. How are you doing today, Jacob?
I'm good.
Do you have
This is the second time we've done the intro.
Yeah, do you have a TV show to pitch? Because that's what we do here. We pitch TV shows.
I actually do, but it's your turn.
It is my turn.
So you're supposed to do that.
I'm going to give you a choice. My famous choices that I give you to pick a TV show idea. Do you want something wholly and completely original, but very similar to a bunch of other stuff? Or do you want something that is based off of an existing universe?
If it's wholly and completely original, it can't be similar to a bunch of other stuff. It's essentially an oxymoron.
Yeah, I know. It's like okay, do you want Superpowered High School or Fallout 4 sequel series? Sequel to Fallout 4. Or Superhero.
So do I want Sky High?
Yeah.
Or Todd Howard? Todd Howard.
I love Todd Howard. Give him to me. Right in my mouth. Todd, come here.
Big Toddy boy.
Big Toddy boy. Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are
the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast.
And that's the third time. Third time's a charm.
I'll probably cut out the first one, though. So.
Probably do, but I'm making reference to it so people will know it's there. Unless you cut this out, too, somehow.
We'll never hear the ancient Jake intro that was hidden.
Yeah. Alright. So, are you aware of Fallout 4? First-person action role-playing game released in 2015 by Bethesda Softworks?
Yeah, it's a game. Your son gets kidnapped. You try to save him. He turns out he's an old man.
Yeah, there's all that stuff. It's set in post-apocalyptic, retro-futurist Boston, where there are laser guns, but also cell phones.
Like pipe guns and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's like if the 50s got nuked, but then, like...
had sci-fi technology also.
Yeah, like lasers.
It's like the
Jensens.
The Jensens?
Yeah. Except they can't fly.
The Jetsons.
Jetsons, that's what it is, sorry.
I think it's like that Jensen thing.
Jetsons. It's like the Jetsons. Except they can't fly.
They can't fly, and everything's blown up.
Yeah, also
so, this series takes place after the events of Fallout 4's main story campaign. This will be following on the Minutemen ending, which is when you blow up the Institute. The Institute's like this underground evil facility full of douchebags, and your old son. You blow up the Institute, and the Minutemen, which are this militia group, basically begin to develop a governmental system that maintains order in the Commonwealth, which is what they call Boston now, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. That's where we're starting out with. And our story, our show, follows a family traveling into Boston from the capital wasteland. Capital wasteland is DC. All right, so we have father, who is loyal to his family. He's cruel, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to keep the people he is loyal to alive. I wouldn't say love.
You said his father. Does he have a name, or does everyone call him father?
We haven't come up with names yet. But father, mother, son, and daughter.
I think it's cooler not to have names.
Yeah, I think so too. And father...
They call him father, son, mother, and daughter, yeah.
Yeah. Father is, he's 46. He's getting up there in age, but he's still like the strong guy. He's the, head of the family.
He's like Rambo in Last Blood or whatever that is called.
He's like Rocky in the second Creed movie or the first Creed movie, whichever one. He's got
he's
cancer,
like Sylvester Stallone,
but he still punches
now.
Guys. Yeah. He's got a lot of Botox and a weird face, but besides that, he's cruel. He enjoys violence. That is an important part of his character, and he's about 46. Yeah, he's middle-aged.
Okay.
Then there's Mother. Mother is like the smart one of the group. She's kind of a con woman. She's a snake oil salesman.
Oh.
She loves her family. She loves money a little bit less than her family, but not by that much.
Okay.
And she is a singer, and father is a guitar player. That's
little band.
They have a little band thing going. And mother is 29, all right?
Oh, a lot younger. Okay.
A lot younger. And then we have son, who is 19. These ages are important.
Okay. Pretty close to his mother's age.
Yeah. It's almost like the mother was a slave and father was a slaver.
Oh shit!
That's
Do they
kind
have
of
slaves in Fallout?
They have tons of slaves in Fallout. There's like
I meant like before the bombs. I guess they're not. Okay.
No,
gotcha.
this is after 2020.
So they weren't like vault dwellers. They live in this world.
They were people who lived in the capital wasteland. Mother was kidnapped by slavers. Father was one of those slavers. I'm not sure if father is the one who got her pregnant, but she got pregnant and had son, who was a minor pickpocket and lockpick. He's kind of a stealthy, skinny little kid, and he's looking for love.
Kind of like a Weasley kind of looking kid, I imagine, very skinny.
Yeah, and he takes after his mother in terms of having he's a charismatic young fellow. But
oh my god, you get Timothy Chalamet to play him.
Let's get Timothy Chalamet to play him. He should eat rats.
Kind of a wiry kid.
Yeah, he's eating rats. It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking for love. He wants to have what mother and father have, and mother and father have not told him the horrible secret of his birth and of their relationship.
Okay, gotcha.
And then last but certainly not least, we have daughter. Now, daughter is repressed and secretive because father was constantly trying to hide her away from all of the dangers of the capital wasteland. She's about 13. She's still pretty young, and father treats her like a child. She is naive, and she shares her father's, enjoyment for violence and cruelty, but she doesn't show that nearly as much as he does. She does not get involved in violence very often. And she is looking for something to believe in, right?
Oh, okay.
Like, she is searching, where her brother is searching for love, she is searching for religion, for God, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So, first season starts, the family arrives in a caravan from the capital wasteland, and they are given Commonwealth passports. Now, in this, it's a little bit in the future of the Commonwealth, so things are a bit more developed. There are passports, there are, checkpoints, there are places for people to go to get jobs and, work.
Okay. But it's still Wild Westy, I guess.
They're still raiders, but the raiders are now becoming more organized along with the civilians. So they're like raider cities and stuff like that, but they are not nearly as powerful as the Minutemen, who are kind of the government in this situation. And I should mention, the Brotherhood of Steel has left. The Brotherhood of Steel, who's kind of a big part in the game, they come in, they shoot a bunch of laser guns, and they're racist. And then in this story, a couple years on, they fucked off. They took the Pridwin, the big airship, and they fucked off. So they're, given the lowdown, they're explained like, all right, Diamond City is the biggest city in the area. It's in Boston. There's, you can find work there. There's trade opportunities. You can work as a construction worker or a, caravan guard, something like that. They're told all about it. And just as they're about to barter for passage, father is about to offer to be a guard for a caravan that goes to Diamond City, the outpost that the Minutemen, that everybody's at, is attacked by raiders, and these are some organized raiders, and they don't just have bows and arrows and pipe guns. They've got laser rifles and shit like that. These raiders have been planning this, and so daughter and father are left behind at the outpost, while mother is kidnapped by the raiders. So, mother and son are kidnapped by the raiders, and father and daughter are managed.
Just like Dune.
Just like Dune, a movie I haven't seen.
It's gonna be just like Dune. It's not really anything like Dune.
there's gonna be a guy.
The connection is Timothy Chalamet plays these characters.
He plays all of the characters.
Plays the son, yeah.
No, he plays every character. We get him in a wig to play the mother. We get him on his knees to play the daughter. We get him in high heels to play the father. It's gonna be great.
No.
Excuse me. Why not?
Well, I think it'd be funny if we casted like the same actors from Dune in this. So like Oscar Isaac plays the dad, which he would probably be good at.
Oh,
Whoever
yeah.
plays the mother, I can't remember her name, plays the mother. And then Timothy Chalamet plays the son.
And
there's no daughter in Dune, so I don't know.
Zendaya can play the daughter, and we gotta put her in little kid makeup.
She's gonna be a lot younger.
We gotta de-age her with CGI, like Kurt Russell
in
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Remember that when they de-aged Kurt Russell?
They do that in all the movies with other actors.
But I feel like I was the most impressed with the Kurt Russell de-aging. You know?
Okay.
And that might just be because I know what Kurt Russell looked like when he was young. But still, it's pretty good.
All right. So they get kidnapped. What are they doing now? What are they doing?
So, okay. Daughter and father are at Sanctuary right now, which is where the Minutemen have set up their outpost. Father is working to get some money to find some mercenaries to help him find his wife and son.
Yeah.
Mother, who is much cleverer than everyone gives her credit for, is able to escape from the raiders.
Oh, how? Just like...
Because they're stupid and she's smart and she picks... She didn't pick the lock.
It's just that thing, when people are like tied to something and they just like tie another knot and it gets them out of it?
Yeah, she does
you see that? She does that. And they were like, how did she do that?
Or maybe she convinces them. She's like, do you guys want to see a magic trick? And she does a magic trick, and the magic trick ends with her like throwing a knife into a guy's eye, and then she runs away, and she makes it to Covenant. Now, Covenant, if you remember, or don't, is a town in Fallout 4 that is very anti-synth. Now, synths are synthetic humans that have been created by the Institute, which was destroyed. So they've become a lot less dogmatic about it because there aren't any more synth being created.
Yeah.
But they're still very particular. They're very particular about, supposedly, about who gets let into their town. And she makes it in. She's allowed in because she's proves herself to be smart enough. And at the same time that she's escaping, her son is rescued by the Railroad. The Railroad was the organization in Fallout 4 that was there to help the synths escape, and is kind of a metaphor for the Underground Railroad, helping enslaved peoples escape from servitude, right?
It wasn't like it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Their name's the Railroad.
It wasn't a metaphor. It was a direct
It was
homage.
a very direct connection.
Yeah, that was stupid of me to say. But, but since the Institute is no longer making sense and they don't need to get them to escape, the Railroad has become more and more of a crime syndicate, like a thieves guild, but they also help enslaved people, but they are, drug runners and gun runners, and they're, the major crime organization in Boston.
Okay.
So
they have some sort of vague moral cause. Yeah,
then they're not gonna kill children. They'll kill women because it'd be sexist not to. They're not gonna kill children, and they always.
Well, you really made the Railroad bad people, haven't you?
No, I mean they're as bad as
they're killing people.
The Minutemen kills people.
But you're having them just kill people and running guns and drugs. They used to be a benevolent organization that was trying to help these robot people.
Exactly. You see what happens when benevolent organizations have the thing they're fighting against destroyed. Right?
You gotta do that carefully though, because you can't make it seem like it's like they were evil all along. You gotta show their leadership eroded and stuff.
Yeah, and also they are going to be working to be eliminating the human slavery that is in the Commonwealth. but it's
Okay.
just a lot less rampant than it is in other places because they've been around for so long and shit like that. So Sun has become a member of the railroad, and he's like doing jobs for them. He's sneaking, he's pickpocketing. Maybe he's the first who makes it to Diamond City, but he doesn't go in the normal way. He,
goes
is
into
snuck.
some, like, holes and stuff.
The tunnels or the sewers or whatever, he's snuck in, and he like becomes fully immersed into the underworld of the Commonwealth.
Gotcha.
While this is happening, Father is searching for his family and redemption because he's a bad guy, but he also loves violence, so it's a little bit difficult for him. But he's, trying to put together this mercenary crew of people to look for his
He has his daughter with
wife.
him, right?
Yes, but he is so focused on finding mother and son that he kind of just leaves daughter to her own devices, and that's where she falls into line with this this religious organization that is set up in Sanctuary, but has sex all over the Commonwealth, and
maybe re-say that, rephrase that.
the religious organization
That has what all over the Commonwealth?
sect.
Sections or like
Sex.
okay.
I know what I said.
I know. I'm just wanting you to rephrase it so it's clear.
Sex. They have what
Branches.
branches? Thank you. They have branches all over the Commonwealth. I haven't come up with a good name for them yet. Maybe they're the followers of the apocalypse. Who knows? That's a thing.
Yeah,
from
you could
another...
pick like an already founded organization and follow
Yeah.
it just to continue the mythology.
But these followers of the apocalypse are much more interested in the namesake. It's kind of a death cult that she's becoming a part of, but she's so naive and like looking for meaning that she's willing to accept this stuff. So what I want to happen throughout the series is that each of the four main characters is, indoctrinated in not indoctrinated, but like involved in a different aspect of the
the
Commonwealth
whole society. Yeah.
Yeah, so like Mother is kind of hidden away from the rest of the world. She's working in Covenant, but she's slowly discovering that everything isn't as what it seems, and her story is more of like a espionage. She's like looking around, she's going around, she's looking for clues in this small gated community that she is, living in. And maybe I don't know, because they were like, we're killing synths. That was the thing in the game. They were killing synths.
Maybe she's hunting a synth. That could be the story. She's hunting a synth the whole time because she's indoctrinated by this hate synth sort of thing. But when she finally discovers who it is, she like finds remorse and doesn't want to kill the synth or whatever. Helps them escape. Maybe that's how she finds her son, because the railroad or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that.
Oh.
Good. Yeah. Maybe she's charged with finding the synth that's in town because they know there's one, or they just suspect that there's one. And she, spends a good chunk of the series investigating and doing research and like discovering the dark secrets of the people in the town and the town itself. And
so she starts off on their side and then sort of switches.
Yeah.
And finds the synth and decides like, we got to get the railroad to help us to get out of here.
Or maybe the railroad is like has an agent in Covenant who's keeping them up to snuff. But I can't think of the word, but like keeping them up to date on all the information that's happening. And so
it'd be interesting if that character, that agent, right? Throughout the series, you see this character in the background of Timothée Chalamet's scenes, and you see him in the background of her scenes as well, the mother's scenes. So it's like, if you're, a smart watcher, you'll be like, oh, I see that person a lot. Maybe there's a connection. And then it'll be revealed that they're like an agent, that this actor would be an extra for like the first half of a season, then realize that they're actually a character.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so, this agent is sneaking the synth out of Covenant, and Mother is joining them because she feels some, desire to help these people. Maybe one of them is a kid and she reminds her of herself when she was that age. She's like, I won't let this young person, even if they are a robot, have their childhood destroyed by, bigotry and hatred like mine was,
Yeah.
And so she meets up with her son, who's working with the railroad, and I want him to be a little bit more stealthy. He's like going around, maybe he's doing more stuff in Diamond City, like heists and stuff, and he's like having a lot of fun with all the criminal stuff, and then, a job goes bad, somebody gets shot, he has to go on the run, all this stuff. And while this is happening, Father is just kind of adventuring around the wasteland.
Searching for his family.
Searching
vengeance.
for his family. Yeah, like basically doing the Fallout protagonist thing,
Going around killing people, trying to find his family.
Yeah.
Following like leads that ultimately are dead ends.
So yeah.
Because they both abandon that bandit cult, so maybe the father spends a lot of time hunting down the bandits that, captured his family, right? And, I don't know, kills them all or something.
Yeah, in a really cool way.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not, maybe he's like left with the last guy, and the last guy is like 15, right? The last bandit that he has to kill is like 15.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm not gonna kill a child. I'm better than that. That's not who I am anymore. And then he just like punches him and knocks him out, but he doesn't kill him.
He yells, I'm Batman, then punches the kid.
Yeah, he yells, I'm Batman, punches him, and then while he's knocked out, he ties a bunch of rocks to his ankles and throws him into a lake. Because he's not a murderer, goddammit.
But the rocks killed him, wasn't
Yeah,
me.
the lake killed him, not me.
Technically.
Manslaughter, duh.
What's the daughter doing? So she joined a death cult.
She's joining a death cult, and she's like, I would like this to be an actual kind of realistic look at how cults work, Because maybe she's like meeting a bunch of new people and like making a lot of friends, and she's like finding the sense of community that she's never felt before. And, all this time I should mention throughout this entire series, there's like wasteland fun adventures happening, like a Deathclaw shows up, or super mutants are there, or ghouls, or whatever.
You probably experience most of that through the father, I assume, because the other ones are like in organizations in more metropolitan areas, it seems like. And the father's like out in the wilderness hunting bandits.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So she's like experiencing...
So she's at Sanctuary, right? At this death cult, okay.
And she's like experiencing community, and then like she's forced to do some things that she's not all that comfortable with,
Like kill somebody.
Yeah, maybe she has to like slit somebody's throat to prove that she's part of it. Maybe like she does it, she's like, I don't know how I feel about it, but I love these guys and I want to be a part of them. And then like the final straw breaks when she's like, she has to sacrifice a child or something, or a ghoul baby.
Yeah.
There, ghoul baby. Because they hate ghouls. Because everybody hates ghouls. Ghouls are like radioactive people. You get it. And
they look like zombies, but their brains normally function okay.
Yeah.
Some of them are messed up, but most of them are like, they're chill.
Most of them can talk and stuff. And they haven't been able, like, there's never been a ghoul baby before. Maybe there's a ghoul baby.
Oh my god, it's like the plot of Blade Runner 2049.
It's like the plot of the Blades Runner.
They're like, baby between something that couldn't have a baby. Another thing.
And Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Who also can't have a baby.
He can. He doesn't know how. He doesn't know where to stick it.
Okay, well.
So yeah, eventually I want the family to all meet together in Diamond City, and they've come together. They've all like experienced some adventures around the wasteland. Daughter hitched a ride on a caravan after like maybe she burns down the entire cult. That'd be pretty fun.
God.
If she has the highest body count by the end of the series, by the end of the season, because she's killed like 30 people in the cult by like burning it down, because she's like, you guys are monsters or whatever. So they all make it to Diamond City, and they're hearing about this massive vault that is underneath of underneath the city, right?
Oh.
And the railroad, the guys in the railroad, the old school railroad guys, are extremely confident that it is a vault that contains like hundreds of thousands of synths who are just being like held captive against their will. You know?
Yeah.
Like they think that this is like a synth hibernation place.
Yeah.
And once they open that, they can let
They're
them...
like, oh, that's where the Institute, it's a big Institute storage area or something, right?
Yeah. So the last, few episodes, they're going in, they're, fighting their way through the super mutants of the city. They go to CIT, which is Commonwealth Institute of Technology. It's MIT. They are fighting their way through. They're able to find a way to get down into the underground
Old Institute, yeah.
Because the Institute was exploded, right? It was nuked at the end of Fallout 4, and that's how most of the game ends. And so they're we have to avoid the highly radioactive places, but the Institute was enormous, and that nuke didn't knock everything out. So they're getting down there, they're fighting, they're shooting, they're, doing all this stuff. They're realizing how much they've all grown as people in this short amount of time in the Commonwealth. Son has developed more confidence in himself, and Mother has developed more of a soft heart for the people around her, right? Daughter has led into her own cruel, violent tendencies, while Father is simultaneously trying to steer away from them, right? So they're all they're working together as a family unit. They're doing a lot of cool, badass stuff. There's other characters that we know from the rest of the show there, like Glory, who is from the game. She's a synth lady with a minigun. She's fun. She can be there. Some ghoul stuff, right? They get down to the Institute. They have a synth who's programmed with the who is fully understands all the intense combination locks that the Institute uses, so he's able to plug himself in and hack into them.
Yeah.
And they open this vault. It's a huge Vault-Tec style door that it opens up, rolls. It's cool. Yeah. And they realize when they open the vault door that the Institute was down there keeping things locked away. But those things weren't synths. They were all the other horrible monstrosities that the Institute had created during their time, during the 200 years they had. So they have all these part human, part robot, cyborg hybrids, big genetic mutation monsters. And they're all pouring out of this vault. And that's I want the first season to end with the family just barely escaping as they've unleashed waves and waves of horrible monstrosities onto the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And they're what the hell are we gonna do? End of season. I don't want to set the world on fire.
That's the song. That's a good song to end with, because they did set the world on fire.
Yeah. And then we don't get a season 2.
Probably, yeah.
No, we don't. I want it done there. No, that would be bad.
I think it'd be funny if you just ended it there, and then the studio was like, hey, we want a season 2, and you're like, I'm not writing it. And they have to find someone else to write it.
Yeah, they gotta find someone better.
They'll be trying to explain everything. You'd be like, I had lots of ideas. And then you can constantly interview and be like, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done it this way. And all the fans would be like, Charlie's the greatest. Oh my God. Oh.
Yeah, I would have had a gorilla. Because they had robot gorillas, right? In this in the Institute at the end of the game, they release a bunch of gorillas that are synth gorillas. And I think maybe one of the characters working for the railroad can be the gorilla. It can be a synth gorilla, but he's got a synth person's brain. Yeah. So he's a perfectly normal guy, except he's a giant gorilla.
Giant robot gorilla.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right, what's your season 2?
Season 2, I have less of a concrete plan for,
Cool.
but I do have some idea. So, Season 2, it's been a few months since they've opened the vault. Commonwealth has devolved into this battlefield wasteland place that it was 50 years ago. You know, there are only like 2 or 3 major settlements that haven't been overrun by monstrosities, and that's where like all of the people are.
So like Diamond City or something, and somewhere else.
Diamond City. What's that other place? What's it called? Where Hancock is?
Oh,
Good Neighbor.
Good Neighbor, yeah.
Yeah, Diamond City, Good Neighbor, and Atlantia, which is the Raider City, are the only 3 places that they're actually like humans alive.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're fighting this battle. The Minutemen are throwing as much men and, you know, weaponry as they can at it. The railroad is trying to help getting, you know, supplies and helping with guerrilla tactics, but they're just highly outmatched. There is no way that they're going to defeat all of the horrors that the Institute created. Until and like episode 3, I would say, the Pridwin shows back up.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Oh, I could feel it.
Brotherhood of Steel show back up. They've been gone for years. They're back. They're better than ever. Elder Maxon is dead. Elder Maxon was the leader in the last game, and he in Fallout 4, and he's a total dick, and I don't like him. He's dead. They've got a new person in charge. They've all got these big robot suits, and they're like, we got this. And with the Brotherhood of Steel, you know, the tide of battle is turned, is being changed. You know, they're beginning to take back their land from these monstrosities. But, you know, because the Brotherhood of Steel is so pompous and up its own ass, they're like trying to wrestle away governmental power from the Minutemen.
Yeah.
And the, you know, Commonwealth passports and all of the infrastructure the Minutemen have been like building for the last 5-10 years is being dismantled slowly by the Brotherhood of Steel. So there's like this internal conflict that is brewing between the Minutemen and the Brotherhood of Steel, and the railroad is kind of stuck in between because the Brotherhood of Steel has lightened its beliefs on synths. It still won't accept a synth as a member, but they're willing to like fight with synths and work with synths, you know?
Yeah.
So they're like, the railroad is kind of, their loyalties are being split both ways, and the Minutemen are beginning to amass forces not only to fight the horrible monstrosities, but also to fight their allies, right? And this all, I'm not really sure how it all comes to a head yet, but I think that there is something in the vault. Because our family has become not less important, but they've become less central to the story as they're being more like representatives for their own specific group.
Yeah.
Like maybe Father is becoming a Brotherhood of Steel guy.
I can imagine
really,
that, yeah. That I feel
he's
like
really
his
into
character
it.
fits with that.
And Son is still all about the railroad. Mother is a Minuteman person. She wants to help the people. And Daughter is being torn between her loyalties for her family and her, you know, weird, crazy bloodlust, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe at some point, Daughter's like, maybe she's 15 at this point, and she goes and joins the Raiders. That would be fun. She becomes a Raider, and then, you know, they have to go there and like convince her to come back and like be with her family again, and maybe they get the Raiders on their side to lead one final assault on the vault that they opened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because there is like a transmitter in the back of the vault, like all the way back, that will shut down the machines. It was like a final off switch that the Institute created just to make sure that everything was okay. And maybe the guy, the like robot who can unlock the Institute stuff, maybe he's also suffering from like dementia, right? He's like got robot dementia.
Okay.
So he doesn't remember things until they become important to the plot, because that just makes life easier for us.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can write something better on that.
He has like maybe his memory's encrypted or something, and he can't access it until they find certain encryption keys, and there's some in the vault, and that's where every time they find one, they can get some more information out of him.
Yeah. That's good.
Or maybe it's like there's so much information that they have to ask the right questions for him to be able to answer them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. Like C-3PO.
It's like he knows everything, but you just gotta ask the right question. I'll tell you.
And so the second series ends with a final assault on the vault.
Yeah.
All of the different organizations are using their various
Cool
abilities.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the Minutemen has big lines of dudes with laser muskets. That's leading a frontal assault, while the
Brotherhood of Steel's got
Steel,
the big mech suit things.
and the big laser gauntlets, or big laser miniguns and shit, while the Railroad's breaking into the back side.
Yeah.
Of the vault. They're sneaking in and they're undoing all the shit, and the Raiders are just running face first into it.
Yeah, they're getting massacred.
Yeah.
But they're running in and screaming.
They're loving it. They're having a blast.
Literally.
Yeah. And then they flip the switch and the monsters stop, man. The monsters stop. Maybe the entire, the robots just shut down, and the, half robot, half, human cyborg monstrosities are, they're able to regain some of their humanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, they start their own community. Because I imagine this series will have a, if, they have in Fallout games, they'll just, have a little fast forward where they tell you what happens.
Yeah.
Or, and the Monster Men were able to start their own town.
Yep, called Monster Town, where they played the Monster Mash every Thursday.
Yay! Yeah, so that's my Fallout 4 show.
I like it. It's fun.
And we can leave it open for sequel series and stuff, and maybe the family goes on to they're let's go to Las Vegas, not New Vegas.
Yeah.
Or maybe just one of the characters from the family, because I think I like the son. He's fun to me. Mm-hmm. Because he's all about...
He's Timothy Chalamet, too, so he's the most marketable.
Oh, yeah. He's the most marketable. So maybe he joins another, group of adventurers.
He moves to Las Vegas and decides to become a courier.
Mm-hmm.
But then one day he gets shot in the head. And the rest
and
is
dies.
history.
He's dead.
Yep.
They had to hire another courier to deliver a poker chip.
I guess the game
also got
was rigged from the start. All right.
Well, I'm trying to think of another. Big Iron.
That's how you want it to end. No, we're not playing that song. It's Big Iron by Marty Robbins. If you couldn't tell.
Big Iron.
No, okay.
Well, I mean, I think that would be a good ending if we ended it with them on they're walking, out west to the cowboy lands. Son and mother and maybe some other characters along the way that we've introduced, or son and daughter, and the other characters just all start walking. They're we're gonna go cross country. I want to see what's out there. And they're walking. Big Iron, Big Iron, with a big iron on his hip. Big Iron.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I'm sure you're tired of Charlie's singing. I know I am. If you enjoyed this podcast episode, you can like if it's on YouTube you're watching. You can like on any other place, I don't think.
No,
but you can pretend you like. You can imagine there's a little like button. You can press it with your mind.
You can leave a review. Did you know that we're on the Apple Music Store?
You can leave reviews on Apple Music.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I guess you can do that. I don't know.
Leave a review. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your enemies. Tell your Step family.
Just
tell them all.
Don't tell anyone. Just hide it. Hoard it for yourself. You know.
Please don't. I want Netflix to make us an offer.
I don't think Netflix owns Fallout, so they're not gonna be able to do shit.
No,
they can
Microsoft
buy the other stuff though.
Yeah, Netflix will be like, here's $7 for your entire catalog, and we'll be like, yes. Sir. Yes.
And they'll start producing one of the shows and then they'll stop, but they own all the ideas now, so we can't use them.
Yeah. They'll start producing one show, realize it'll cost like $500 million to make, and then they stop.
Hey, some of our shows are cheaper, all right? Most of them are very high budget, but some of them
Dolphin
are cheaper.
High School.
That's
they can make Dolphin High. They can make Dolphin High School.
I'd want Christopher Nolan to do it. He'd do the whole thing underwater with real dolphins.
Yes. And can Robert Pattinson voice all of the dolphins?
Yeah, every single dolphin. Yep. Oh, and they all are Batman.
Listen to Dolphin High School.
No,
Goodbye.
Don't.